Coming up on Lindenwood News, an off-duty police officer threatens dozens of kids at a trunk or treat. Plus, the death toll continues to rise in Gaza and surrounding areas. And a pilot tries to shut down a plane mid-flight. Those stories and more ahead on Lindenwood News. Welcome to this edition of Lindenwood News. I'm Devion Harris. The St. Louis County police officer tells hundreds of families at a trunk or treat event that they were all going to die as he fired shots into the air. According to the charging documents, 39-year-old Matthew McCoy started harassing people during a Halloween event on Sunday evening at the North Kirkwood Middle School campus. The St. Louis County Police Chief said in a statement that the county police officer was on unpaid administrative leave pending an internal investigation due to the shooting. The officer was off duty at the time of the shooting. McCoy is facing 11 charges, which includes 5 counts of armed criminal action. He will undergo a mental health evaluation and is being held on $500,000 bond. He is pleading not guilty. If you ride the train, you need to listen up. Metrolink trains in St. Louis are changing to the single lane this week. Due to the upcoming construction work, some routes, including the Stadium 8 and the Pine Convention Center and Laclede Station, are down to 1 lane. During this week of construction, all Blue Lane trains will have a modified route. This means passengers traveling west will need to make a temporary transfer onto Red Line trains. Eastbound passengers will have to reverse with the Red Line trains to Blue. A historic church bell is stolen from a pastor's yard near the St. Peter's and Paul Catholic Church. Pastor Bruce Foreman says the bell that was stolen is the first church bell from the original location. Foreman says security footage shows the thieves cutting the bell from its base and leaving it on the ground last week. A neighbor says the bell sat on the ground in the yard for a few days before disappearing. Foreman believes the thieves came back a second time to take the bell since they didn't anticipate it being so heavy. Foreman says police are checking the neighborhood security camera footage to look for the thieves' license plate number. Straight ahead on Lindenwood News, a popular character from the show Friends dies unexpectedly. We'll tell you what we know so far after the break.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. Basically, he had to relearn everything. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
If
done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
The death toll from the month-long war in Gaza passes 10,000 people. The number makes this the deadliest round of Israeli-Palestinian violence since Israel was established 75 years ago. As for the latest on the war, Israeli forces fired at the territory with the intense airstrikes overnight on Monday. This pushed Israelis even further into the Gaza city. The war is still continuing, and this death toll is still rising. The actor who starred as Chandler Bing on the hit show Friends has died. Matthew Perry was 54. The Friends star battled drugs and alcohol addiction for decades. No drugs were found at the scene, and no foul play was suspected. Police say Perry died in an apparent drowning accident in his home. However, the incident remains under investigation. An autopsy has been completed, and results are pending on a toxicology report. An off-duty pilot struggles to shut a plane's engine off mid-flight. 44-year-old Joseph David Emerson is charged with 83 counts of attempted murder. Reports say he tried to turn off the engines from the jump seat in the cockpit. The Alaska Airlines plane was taking off from Washington and headed for San Francisco. The flight crew was able to land the plane successfully in Portland. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Warm air took off this week, but we are seeing cooler weather through the weekend. More details and our weather forecast after the break.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. High blood pressure silently affects millions of Americans. Staying on top of your blood pressure is as simple as these 4 easy steps. Self-monitoring is power. Visit manageyourbp.org to learn more.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? She's dead. Please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Starting with our national map, high pressure is starting to move in from the northeast and northwest, but low pressure will be moving in after. This could lead up with low temperatures and rain for central states. Looking at our local map, nice and sunny at 69 for St. Charles and the city of St. Louis. Maryland Heights at 70. Going to St. Peter's at high of 69, leaving O'Fallon at 70. Rolling into our five-day forecast, today is our warmest with 68. Stays the same with Thursday. Friday has the high of 67 with the low of 39, And Saturday and Sunday has a high of 58 with a low in the 30s. Don't forget your sweater. And now I'm sending it to Kyle with sports.
It's a win or go home game for City SC. Their season is on the line as they head to Kansas City to try and force a Game 3. Sports is up next after the break.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
St. Louis City SC has officially been knocked out of the MLS playoffs. After dropping Game 1 to rival Sporting KC, they also lost Game 2 on Sunday by a score of 2-1. Celio Pompeu was the only goal scorer for City. Their incredible inaugural season has come to an end where they finished as the #1 seed in the West. Sporting Kansas City will now move on to the MLS Western Conference semifinals. The St. Louis Blues beat the Montreal Canadiens on Saturday night. The final score of the game was 6-3. All 6 goals were scored by different players. Jordan Kyrou and Braden Shen both tallied 2 assists along with a goal. The win brings the team to 5-4 record and gives them 11 total points so far. Next, the Blues will stay at home to face the Winnipeg Jets. The Texas Rangers have beaten the Arizona Diamondbacks to win the World Series. The Rangers won the series in 5 games, topping the D-backs 5-0 in the last game. It is their first championship in franchise history. The Rangers had not been to the World Series since falling to the Cardinals in 2011. Shortstop Corey Seager was named World Series MVP. That's all for sports. Back to you, Devion.
The Central Visual Performing Arts High School received thousands of dollars worth of donations after its jazz showcase Sunday. Manager Michael Gurnifer helped organize the Nottingham Music Company's 70th anniversary All-Star Jazz Showcase. The Jim Manley Band, the Funky But Brass Band, the Webster Facility Jazz Ensemble, and the many other local bands performed at the event. Gurnifer says 100% of the $8,000 raised will help the music program at the high school. The CVPA assistant principal says the proceeds will help purchase band instruments like clarinets, flutes, saxophones, and trumpets. This is Lindenwood News. I'm Devion Harris. Thanks for joining us.